Tidjane, he is the CEO of UK's largest insurer, Prudential. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Steve.
You just came off the same stage with
Yes.
Gordon Brown, and
Yes.
as we heard Mark just say, that Mr. Brown said, first of all, there's a danger of being too pessimistic, but at the same time, he sees 10 years of slower growth in the UK, Europe, and also in the United States, unless there is a coordinated plan, a coordinated effort from global economies. Do you agree?
Yes, short answer is yes. We believe that there are some very deep imbalances, fiscal imbalances, and that they cannot be eliminated without growth. And I believe that actually China is part of the reason why I'm here co-chairing this forum, has a key role to play. What Premier Wen said about China's will to increase its domestic demand and also to come and support the Eurozone is very important and is one of the only ways to get out of the situation where we are.
Mr. Brown also talked a lot at the end there about how he feels he's been proven right, that the electorate in the UK last year decided we need to focus, he said, be more parochial and focus on deficits instead of pro-growth policies. And he says he's been proven right because of slowing growth, more unemployment. Would you agree with him there, that these economies need more pro-growth policies, or do we have to hammer on the deficits?
Well, you wouldn't expect me as a CEO to comment on the domestic political scene, especially since I'm a foreigner anyway. But I'm like the markets, I look forward.
Sure.
But looking forward, yes, growth is necessary. I think that's well recognized in the UK. There's a lot of debate, and the Chancellor has been trying to push a growth agenda because it's absolutely necessary to deal with the deficits and go back to a more reasonable fiscal balance on the one hand, but on the other hand, that is not sufficient. You also need growth because ultimately that's what generates the tax revenues and what generates the ability for the government to go forward.
Speaking of growth, we are sitting in an economy that is growing at a pace that is slower than the average of the last few years, but it is the envy of the world. Even 8% is the envy of the world, if that's what the economy slows down to. How hard and fast are you going into this economy?
As hard and as fast as we can. We have had a business year since 2000. I'm very fortunate personally to have had a good fortune to visit China in 1984. I was in Dalian here almost 30 years ago now, and the transformation in this country is unprecedented, I believe, on the globe. And we are absolute believers in China. We invest as much as we can. Our business has been growing at 30-40% per annum, and we're very happy with the 38 cities where we are active all across China, and we only want to do more.
All right, now you are very well of the market chatter that potentially you are here in China as well, talking to potential buyers of your company. Even AIA has been talked about. This was a company that you looked at possibly buying.
We did, and that was well publicized. In keeping with what I said earlier, I'm going to look forward and not go back to the events of last year, but there was those rumors, there are always rumor and market speculation. We don't usually comment, but I can assert very firmly that there is no basis to those rumors. And when those rumors appeared, if we have the obligation as a company, if there was anything of substance to talk about it, and we said nothing because there's absolutely nothing to say. There is no veracity whatsoever to those rumors.
Yeah. The insurance market here, the potential, we've seen the bigger players, the Ping An Insurance, China Life, get the strong foothold, but you also have the insurance business here as well as asset management. What's your outlook for the China insurance industry? This is an industry that's already grown at 30% per annum over the past 3 decades.
Absolutely, but penetration in many places remains around 1 or 2%. If you think about the developed countries of the West, their penetration is about 12, 13, 14%. So we have many years of growth because that's a percentage of GDP, which itself is growing very strongly. So our business is driven by GDP growth, saving rates, and penetration. And the three are evolving very positively, very strongly in China. So it's just a fantastic market for us. And the needs for health and protection, which is something we are absolutely the leaders in Asia, are very significant in the Chinese population.
How do you see the China market, the Asia market, as the Western developed nations' economies are heading towards recession? How is Asia, how is China specifically going to be the percentage of your revenue mix, say, the next 5 years?
Oh, it's been increasing continually, and we've gone above 50%, and we're headed to 60-70% very quickly because we grow. The business has been more or less doubling every 3 to 4 years, and that's been the pattern on which we've been for about 15 years.
But you're not about to be purchased, right?
Well, my job is to maximize shareholder value, and run the company to maximize shareholder value, and that's what I'm focused on.
Tidjane, Thiam, thank you very much for your time.